Everybody. Good evening and welcome to United Real Therapy people. We've got a full house for you tonight. Full house, full deck of cards. We're having it. We're having it, Therapy Army. Let's go. It's a Bournemouth preview, which for me could be a massive banana skin. A massive banana skin. I repeat, a massive banana skin tomorrow. Tomorrow, it could be a massive banana skin because I see the whole fan base giddy. But anyway, welcome. Wherever you are in the world, you're welcome. Get in here, folks. And we're going to break it down. Manchester United versus Bournemouth and all the news that's related to everything Manchester United. So let's start now. Jarvis, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you, Nuruddin? And big up to Mundo and Bumbaye and Tom. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, big up to you. What's the temperature in Norway right now?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Go on.
I think it's minus 16. Minus 16 degrees. It's cold. At least I have the fireplace going.
The fireplace. Most houses have a fireplace in Norway.
Yes. Yeah. You have to have a fireplace or you will freeze to death.
What about the central heating?
Central heating pump and fireplace. We have it all. So
is it expensive? Central heating expensive, Jarvis?
Yeah.
Here in the UK, it's super expensive.
Yeah, it's the same up here. You know, the prices for electricity is skyrocketing. But what you're supposed to do? You know, I'd rather pay a big bill than freeze to death.
There you go. Especially minus 16. The Norwegian government needs to go and step in, man. There you go. Big up. Craig is already on the 4 Eric Cantona. 3 Eric Cantona. There you go. Anna Eric Cantona. Mundo, are you there? How are you? If you're there, Mundo.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm good. Can you hear me?
You missed the best performance of the season. Manchester United are prime Barcelona. Did you see that? Did you like that? Style of play. You wanted style of play. You got it in buckets on Wednesday. But we're going to win the league, aren't we, Mundo? Yeah? Champions League and all that.
Definitely. 3 points behind City. It's an omen.
Oh, God. I know people keep repeating that shit. What does that mean? City are having a terrible time. What the fuck does that mean, 3 points behind City? Like, people are making like City are top of the league. They're not top of the league. What does that mean? It's a talking point. It's just ridiculous. 3 points behind City. And
but you know what it is? You know, like in F1 racing, sometimes you've got to get in somebody else's slipstream to get their speed. So I'm hoping that because we're so close to City, when they start going up the table, they take us with them. I mean, that's the only way we're going to get top 4.
Yeah, anyway, big up to you. How are the Rascals? Are they good?
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
Yeah, man. Big up to you. Big up to the Rascals. Bombay, how you doing?
Yeah, good. Good, thank you, man. Evening, everyone.
Yeah, big up. Tommy, those 7 Hills, man. Mundo used to live there. Those 7 Hills. Are you in the 7 Hills?
I was in the 7 Hills, guys.
You're in the 7 Hills? You're all right? Are they cold? Are they minus 16
cold.
in 7 Hills?
We're not freezing as much as Jarvis, put it that way.
Minus 16, you know. God. Listen, it gets to -1 in Manchester and I can't move. And you know what? Nothing can move when it gets to -1. People's cars don't start. Buses are late. Everything. The trams are cancelled. I'm telling you, -1 and Britain does not move, mate. It's not just Manchester, it's Britain. Big up to everybody. Love and light, man. Listen, smash a like on the video when you come in. Listen, we've got so many talking points to get in. Should we get into some of the talking points surrounding Manchester United? Or should we do the preview first? Should we do the preview or should we get into all the talking news? What do you guys think?
I think you should maybe go on.
Yeah, I was going to say if we do the game, innit? Because
I was going to say,
and then key points we can follow up on afterwards.
Yeah.
If people
okay, cool. Let's do the game. Big up to everybody. So Manchester United. First of all, Manchester United, in terms of the Premier League awards, have cleaned up. Manchester United have cleaned up. Clean is as clean as a whistle, people. That's what Manchester United have done. So let's get into the game. There we go. Manchester United. Eric Ten Hag has challenged Marcus Rashford to recapture his best form after being demoted to the bench against Chelsea. Bournemouth expect to have the same squad available that won Crystal Palace on Wednesday. Marcus Tavernier might return to the starting lineup and should be in the squad. Should the squad be rotated? 7 players remain out. So they've got 7 players. So we think we've got injuries. They've got 7 players out as well. Bournemouth have lost 9 of their 10 away matches against Manchester United in all competition, only avoiding defeat 1-1 Premier League in March 2017. Bournemouth's 2 Premier League wins in this fixture came at home 2-1 on the 12th of December 2015 in the first league game between the two clubs, and 1-0 in November 2019. Manchester United have earned 18 points since the start of October, tally bettered by only Arsenal 19. 8 of United's 9 Premier League wins this season have come by a single goal margin, include all 5 at Old Trafford. They have lost 17 out of their 60 matches in all competition in 2023, the most competitive defeat in the calendar year since losing 17 of 55 in 2001. So in the calendar year, Manchester United have only lost 17 games out of 60. The Red Devils are on club flight record of run of 22 consecutive fixtures without a draw, since she finished 2-2 at Spurs on the 27th of April. United's tally of 18 goals scored is their lowest after 15 games in the Premier League this season. They've had 14 in 92-93. Scott McTominay has scored a career best 5 Premier League goals in this campaign, including 4 of Manchester United's last 5 at Old Trafford. Rasmus Højlund has failed to score in all 13 domestic appearances for Manchester United, in the contrast of the 5 goals as many in the Champions League games. Bournemouth's 3rd consecutive Premier League season, which they have at a record of 4 wins, 4 draws, 7 losses with 18 goals scored after the opening 15 matches. They have failed to score and lost their 16th league fixture of 2019 to 20 to 22 to 23. Their tally of 13 points from their past 6 league fixtures is only bettered by Arsenal's 15 and Liverpool's 14. Bournemouth have extended their unbeaten run of 4 matches in the Premier League, their longest 14 months. They can equal the club Premier League record of 3 consecutive away wins since April 2023. The Canaries can score multiple goals in 5 consecutive Premier League matches for the first time. Dominic Solanke has scored 7 Premier League goals in 2023-24 already, suppressing his total of 6 in 33 games last season. Louis Sanater has directly involved in 3 goals across the last Premier League starts, scoring 2 and assisting 1. As many goal contribution as his first 11 starts in the competition. Adinora Arola played both legs Atletico Club's 5-3 aggregate win against Manchester United in 2011-2012 and the Europa League round last 16 3-2 victory in the first leg. So Adinoni. So Andoni's got history of winning at Old Trafford. So, guys, basically, they've got this Spanish manager. Where's he from? He's from a region, Spain, same as
he's from the Basque.
Yeah,
he's Basque, isn't he?
Yeah, from the Basque. So he is very talented. It took them time for them to understand his style of play. I really like that Scottish player. He's very creative midfielder, Christie. And I like the winger that they got. That winger with the dreads. He's really, really good player. So
Semenyo,
yes, Semenyo's been brilliant. And the other kid who plays on the other side, the left-footed kid,
Tavernier.
He's a very good player. Tavernier, Marcus Tavernier. He's a very good player. But they've got Solanke scoring goals. They make so many different kind of runs. They play kind of possession football. But one thing they've done in every game, that majority of the games that I've seen, they open teams up. They do miss chances, but they open teams up. So the way we play in midfield, they play on a transition. They press you well. The only thing is that they do concede goals. I watched their game against Villa, and they absolutely tore Villa apart. And Villa are one of the big form teams in the Premier League, but they should have won. That should have been at least 5 or 4-2 in that game. the chances they made, the sitters. Solanke had 2 one-on-one saves by Martinez, close range in the box. So for me, it's a massive banana skin because they know how to attack. They do concede, I must say, but they know how to attack. So, Mundo, I'll go to you first. What are you expecting tomorrow? What kind of United are going to turn up against this confident Bournemouth team? This is probably the best conference they're on. The best conference they're on for a long, long time as a team, as a club. They're going into, like I said, their tally, 13 points from the past 6 league fixtures, is only bettered by Arsenal. And Arsenal are top of the league.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a more difficult game than the game on Wednesday. Just because I think Chelsea were quite open, and I don't think Bournemouth are going to be open. And I still, looking at the composition of the midfield, I still feel like we're susceptible to counter-attacks. The amount of times that Chelsea just ran straight through the middle of our team was a joke. So I think if a team's organised and they just play transitional on the break football, we're quite vulnerable. So that's my only concern. And obviously Bournemouth have got Solanke up front. He's a proper striker. Chelsea don't have a striker. So, if any of those chances fall to him that fell to the Chelsea guys on Wednesday, might be a different story. So I don't know, and it also depends on the lineup. If the manager sticks with that 11, well, actually, I would take Lindelof out, but 10 plus, obviously, Luke Shaw maybe playing centre half and bringing Reguilon in at left back, then, yeah, we're at Old Trafford. I think I'm confident we'll win, but I'm not quite certain we're going to get the same level of performance we got on Wednesday.
Yep.
That was it. I said my piece.
Everybody but Dino knows
Sorry,
that.
I'm
Stop
muted,
the
Tom.
mute.
Tom, are you there? What do you reckon
Yeah,
tomorrow? What do you reckon? And then we go to Jarvis and boom back.
Hang on, you cut out already. What did you say, sir?
What are you expecting tomorrow? What are
Tomorrow?
Is this a massive banana skin? Because everybody's expecting, because everybody's giddy, because we played Chelsea, and Chelsea, to me, I'm still confused. Were Chelsea that shit or were we that good? We definitely had a style of play, it must be said. But Chelsea was just really bad. But Bournemouth are on their top of their confidence, the most they've had. Last 13, like I said, they've got only Arsenal better that, and Liverpool better them in the form book. Only Liverpool and Arsenal, and they're both fighting for the league up there. So this is one of the most informed teams in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
What do you reckon tomorrow? What United are going to turn up to get the 3 points?
Honestly, I think it depends on what team we end up playing. Really, personnel-wise, anyway. If we see probably a similar team to Chelsea, I can see I'm similar to what Mundo said. I can see us winning the game, but I think the performance will drop off. I don't think it'll be as high intensity as it was the Chelsea game. I don't think we'll pressurise them on the ball as much as we did. And if I'm being honest, I think Bournemouth would be naive to come to Old Trafford after what they saw on Wednesday and say, let's play football properly. If they come to Old Trafford and they just whittle themselves down to 2 or 3 chances because they've got a number 9 like Solanke, who he only needs maybe 1 or 2 chances and he'll put the ball in the back of the net. So it could just be as simple as Bournemouth come, and instead of coming to play ball, they might just come and just say, right, we're going to sit 2 back to 4 and we're going to hit you on the counter-attack when we get the chance to. Come and break us down. Because that is the complete opposite to how Chelsea approached the game against us. And we had a lot more success in that game because there was the space in behind for players to run into. Whereas in this game, if we're going to approach it in any way possible, I would anticipate that he picks a similar lineup to the one that won against Chelsea, barring maybe bringing a couple of fresh legs at the back. Like, for example, you take Lindelof out and I know you put Varane in there or whoever. But barring that, keep it consistent for the players who really turned up for you at the end of the show and show a bit of belief in a lot of those players. Especially, I would say anyway, for players like Garnacho and stuff, show a bit more faith in them. Even if Rashford isn't fit or whatever to play the game, even if he was, I don't care. The kid deserves to play at the end of the day. But for me, I see us winning the game, but I'm very similar to Mundo, where I just think the performance is going to drop off. But to be honest with you, I just want us to keep winning games at this moment in time. And then hopefully, as we've been saying before, the style of play will figure itself out at some point. But it remains to be seen if it's sustainable. For me, the way that we've been playing at this moment in time, where it's been Scott McTominay saving our ass, it's not sustainable at all. Because the attackers need to start chipping in with some goals. But that's my opinion anyway. You're on mute, Nurden. You're on mute.
And I definitely 100%, 100%. I just to tell you a little bit, Adiola. Well, I can't even say his name properly. Is it Andiona Irola? His name is their coach. He is
Andoni
Andoni
Iraola.
Andoni Irola. I remember once watching Real Vallecano, and I remember him drawing 3-3 with Real Madrid, like with possession football, beating Barcelona when they were champions. I remember actually seeing this guy like going crazy and his teams play possession football. They play on the transition. Tactically, he's quite sound. He likes to build up from the back. He likes to try in the midfield, and then the speed up the play in terms of especially using the wingers. And what I've seen of them this season, I watched the highlights of their game against Crystal Palace. They were the better team. They beat Crystal Palace fair and square. So at the end of the day, he knows what he's doing. He's had big wins against the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid. You know what I mean? So he's not a manager that people take lightly. And I can see them now, Jarvis. They've taken to his style what he wants them to do, how to play, especially how good they're up front. They're attacking the dynamicism that they have up the pitch. I saw their game against Sheffield United where they smacked, I don't know how many goals. They could have had 6 or 7. I did say they do miss chances, but they open teams up open again and again and again. And Christie pulling the strings in midfield. So how do Manchester United defeat them tomorrow? How do we play against that? Because if we go there with a single roaming guy, I think if they when they hit us on the counter on the transition, I don't think Maguire's going to stop them. I genuinely don't think Maguire or Shaw. There's too many movements. They have pace and power and movement.
Yeah, you are right, Nordin. You're completely right. I just want to say, last season Bournemouth was newly. They came from the championship and up. They came in 15th place last season. They did okay. They had 39 points. Despite that, they gave the manager Gary O'Neill the sack, and they brought in this Spanish guy. His name is as you said, Andoni Iraola, and with 2 words I can describe him: he's pragmatic and opportunistic. He plays usually in the 4-2-3-1 formation, but when they are defending, they go into a 4-4-1-1 formation in a way. So they don't utilize their number 10 as we do with Bruno. They keep the number 10 high up in the pitch, but their wingers tuck in down, and when they are under pressure, they tuck really far down. They are almost like second fullbacks. So what he's trying to do, he trying to prevent all the crosses. He don't want any crosses. They want to keep it on the ground and push the opposition into the bag. As I have seen, he plays a Spanish style of football, but it's not like possession Barcelona style of football. I would compare it more to Sevilla or Villarreal, if you know how they play. It's very opportunistic, and they keep the control of the game, and they're like a slugger. They can take a lot. Yeah, and the key for them is the wide area.
They set traps for you, actually win the ball back in certain areas, and then they go ahead. Sorry, Javed.
Yeah. And the key element for them is the fullbacks. They like to overlap with the fullbacks, and when they overlap with the fullbacks, the wingers they cut in. So they usually come with a lot of force in the middle when the cross comes. So we got to be prepared. So for me tomorrow, The fullbacks is vital. I especially their left side is really good. So for me, it's very
Is he
important.
Scandinavian? That left back they have, is he Scandinavian? Is he Scandinavian? The left
No,
back?
no, I think he played for us at Alkmaar last season. I'm not quite sure where he's from, his nationality.
I think
But
he's Ukrainian.
So much energy. He's got so much energy. Very good left foot. Super
Yeah.
impressive against Villa. He was so impressive.
So for me, I think we will struggle tomorrow. It won't be an easy game. We know how we did against Sevilla, against Villarreal, and teams like that. We struggle to break them down, and we will see that tomorrow. We will probably have most of the possession, but we won't get as open play on the wings as we did against Chelsea, and they will try to hit us on the counter when they have the opportunity, because they're opportunistic and they have a really good striker. Solanke, I think he scored, is it 8 goals this season in 15 games or 16 games? And when you think of it, for Bournemouth, 8 goals, that's a lot. When Højlund, he hasn't scored 1 this season in the Premier League. So he's really good. So I'm not sure about tomorrow, Ashley. I'm quite pessimistic. I think we will struggle.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Go ahead, Bumbaye. I don't know if you watch Bournemouth, but they're playing really good football with this Spanish coach, man. And everybody, he was favourites to be sacked, by the way. He was one of the favourites to be sacked.
Bournemouth is a team that's got energy and they play football properly. They're adept all over the pitch at playing football. They move well as a unit, but they concede a lot of goals. As much as I'd love to see, glimpses of what we saw against Chelsea, based on what Jarvis and Mundo and Tom have said and yourself, and listening to the people in the comments, I think there's 2 ways you can try and approach this game, because one of our strengths is also, hit you on the break. So if they're going to commit forward, you can drop off a little bit with a mid block, or you can try and win that ball high up the pitch. We've done that a few times this season in spells in certain games, and we look the better for it, to be honest. It's a bit risky, but we're more aggressive. We play them up the pitch. As soon as they get into that semicircle in the middle of the park, we're on it. And our midfielders are all right at doing that. And to be honest, Maguire especially has been good at getting in front of his man, and pressing high up onto the defender. I've been impressed with that with him in recent games. So I would like us to do that, I think. But in order to do that, we do need people, the team collectively, to show the enthusiasm that you had at Chelsea. If that's the game plan and then the energy's off, then we could be suffering tomorrow. But it's not an easy game. A team that keeps the ball well, is efficient with the ball, and then picks its moments and understands each other, is a kind of team that we can struggle against, because we have a tendency, I feel, in certain games to slowly start to just go to sleep a little bit. We start to watch the game, and that plays perfectly into the hands of the type of team that Jarvis is describing them as, an opportunistic team that keeps the ball well. When you keep the ball well, United start to they're in front of you. They're where they should be, but they're not actually applying pressure. I think with Bournemouth, you need to disrupt them. These types of teams need disruption. So there's 2 options. I would like to go with be aggressive, try and win that ball. Don't commit press high, but as soon as they're in that semicircle, man, you need to be on that. Press them with Amrabat, with McTominay, Bruno. Get that ball back. You know what I mean? Don't let them settle. Because once they settle into their rhythm, and they do play with a decent rhythm, actually, then we start to sleep, and then the opportunities arise, and then the problems can be caused. So I would take that risk, and I would play them in an aggressive way. We're also at home. So I think tomorrow we can win this game, but I think we might get an entertaining match, to be honest with you. We've been in quite a few entertaining games recently. And as a fan, man, you want to see an entertaining encounter. I don't mind what I saw at Chelsea. They had chances, we had chances, but I left from a fan point of view very satisfied with the game that I seen. Same with Galatasaray. It was a really good game. So as long as the energy is there, I would go with that.
Okay, definitely, definitely. I do think that tomorrow is a massive banana skin. I do think that the pressure is on Manchester United tomorrow because against Chelsea, it was the reaction from the Newcastle game. That's what we were looking for. Was the reaction from the Newcastle game. They had a style. And now Manchester United, after 15 games, we've seen a game. The only other game that I actually thought we played well this season when we got beat 3-1 by Arsenal. I don't think 3-1. I think 3-1 flattered them. I think we were in that game for large parts. And that's the only other game that I actually thought, I know what we were doing here. We were playing with it. You know, for me, observing Eric Ten Hag in the 18 months that he's been here, observing him, what I've noticed that if you want to play, because at times he wants you to play man for man, you have to have intensity. And I know I keep repeating it like a broken record. You have to play with intensity, with aggression, and you have to show physicality. You have to also win as a team. The second ball, you have to compete for every ball and every blade of grass. You have to be able to do that. So when the team don't do that, it's going to be very interesting. So for tomorrow, if you pick the same team, let's say, and we can see he's trying to do halfway line football, I think they've got a lot of pace up the pitch, so it'd be quite dangerous, especially if we don't stop the source of the pass. That's what I thought we played well on Wednesday. I thought that we stopped because Jackson, Sterling, and obviously who else? And Modric. Is it Modric? They were all quite quick, but we stopped the passes going through to them. We suffocated them. And the way we played, I thought, a lot of times last season we played that. We bullied teams at Old Trafford a lot of games. That's why we had an incredible home record last season at Old Trafford. So we need to definitely bring that. Anything less than that, we could get beat here, people. And I'm going to go out and say, Manchester United could go and be amazing and score 4 goals or whatever. But I'm saying to you now, this is a huge banana skin because of the different emotions. Because the United players are going to be thinking, oh, it's only Bournemouth. It's only Bournemouth. And I've seen that happen. I've seen Manchester United beat Man City and the next game get beat by bloody West Brom. Do you remember, guys, under Jose? We beat City and then we got beat by West Brom. It's just absolutely crazy. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, people. And we have to me, United have to turn up tomorrow. They have to turn up with physicality, intensity, and aggression. And if they don't, then Billing is back. Billing is a good player. Billing is one of their best players. Naturally gifted, tall, lanky kid. He's very good, especially setting up goals. And then I like the way he makes late runs into the box and he just pops up with goals. So he's dangerous. They've got, attacking wise, they've got players that can hurt, players who are in form. People. That's what they've got. So to me, it's a tricky game with a tricky manager. Coming to he likes the limelight, this manager. He's beaten Barcelona twice. He beat Real Madrid once. He drew 3-3. He took a second division Spanish team to the semi-final, the quarter-final of the Copa del Rey. Never been seen, never been heard. It don't happen that often. So this guy, this manager, he's somebody with pedigree. He's not a guy that everybody, all the bookers in England thought, who's this guy? He's going to get sacked. They said that he was the first to get sacked. But they stuck by him and they knew not to panic because he's going to get it right. He's doing the work. So at the end of the day, he sits there with his notepad. He's there scribbling. I watched the game again. He's there constantly scribbling. So it's a very interesting game. I expect a tough game tomorrow. And I think if Manchester United are going to win it, I think if Manchester United get early chances and we take them, then mentally we can demoralize them. But if let's say the first 25 minutes we score 2 goals, they could go then. You know what I mean? It's a long way to go yet. But the longer it stays 0-0, the more confident they get. And teams like this, people, they play in 15 minutes. So they go the first 15. Can we make it to the second 15? Can we make it to half time? Can we come out of half time, and get the first 15, not conceding? That's how they work. And they built on that. And the more it stays 0-0, the more the crowd will get nervous, the more it's crazy. So I'm just letting you know, people, it is what it is. But go ahead. And everybody else said, Jarvis, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to say a couple of things about this manager. I did some analytic stuff on him today and read a lot about him. As you said, he came to the semi-final. He won the Segunda Division with Rayo Vallecano, and then he played 2 seasons in the Primera and came in 12th with the newly promoted team. they are not a big club, Rayo Vallecano, and they had great games against Barcelona and Real Madrid and all of the big teams. So he's a very astute manager. He's only 40 years old. He's been into managing for 5 years now. At a young age, he's one of the biggest manager talents in Europe at the moment, I would say, and I don't think people realize this. This guy is extremely good, and he used to play as a right back, and now the fullbacks is his strongest attacking weapon, I would say, because they overlap and had good crosses onto a deadly striker, and it takes a little bit of time. They sacked Gary O'Neill after staying in the Premier League. Not many teams do that, but they have ambitions. They want to go higher up the table, not be 15. They want to be 10. They want to be 8. They want to be 6. I don't know what the ambition is for Bournemouth at the moment. But as I see it, I think they want to try to play good football. And now in the last 4 to 5 games, they have really understood what he's trying to do. And if people say they play open football and that Bournemouth are shit, that's not true, because they have been dominating all the teams. Newcastle, Aston Villa, the 2-2 game against Aston Villa had an XG of, I don't know, 0.5, and Bournemouth had a 2.5 XG. They should have won that game, and they won. They beat Newcastle 2-0. They were dominating them. They had 2.5 XG. They had Newcastle had the 0.5 something. So they're not just winning games. They are playing the best football, and people got to realize this, because this team is starting to get their speed up. So tomorrow I'm worried, but we can win, of course. But it depends how we take it. If the players are ready, as you said, Nuruddin, that's a great point, because you always get a reaction after a good game. So they need to be on their game from minute 1 and give 110%. Same attitude as against Chelsea.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, I watched the Villa game. I'm telling you, any of you guys go and watch the highlights. It was absolutely one-sided. Villa got absolutely balled off that part. One-touch football. Christie pulling strings in midfield. Played really well. Really, really well. They played. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. Tomorrow we'll find out. Big up to everybody. Listen, I'm going to stay with you, Jarvis. Can you give me the score tomorrow? First of all, listen, we don't need to pick up. Are you picking the same team? Or what changes are you making? Obviously, Lindelof is ill. Lindelof is out. Back injury, apparently. Rashford is ill. So Rashford's not going to play. A lot of people are saying Rashford has been chicken. Rashford wants to play. I don't know. Listen, United fans, we can criticize Rashford when he walks around the pitch and he doesn't do what he do. But don't make up. You don't have to be bloody State of Israel and make up extra stuff and come out with all the ludicrous stuff, propaganda to hate on him. What he's doing is bad enough as it is. You don't need to make it out like, Rashford's caused the World War III. No, he is ill. If he's ill, we've had loads of illnesses in the squad this season. Yeah. Apparently, Varane is back after his illness. So Lindelof is out injured with a back injury. And so that means Luke Shaw will partner Maguire at centre-half. So is he going to play regularly on? Or is he going to play a lot?
Well, I was thinking of it, and tomorrow I think I would be more safe and play a good defensive fullback. So I would go with Shaw on left back and Wan-Bissaka on right back. Maybe play Evans in a centre back with Maguire. I know it's not the most exciting team, but this is. I think we need to be more defensive minded when it comes to our flanks. Up front, maybe start with the same trio up front, and in midfield, it's like a coin toss between Mainu and Amrabat. I'm not quite sure. Maybe Amrabat. Yeah.
For me, just to get the rhythm. Listen, to get the rhythm, Amrabat has to play tomorrow for me. He might be taking off, but he has to start the game tomorrow for me, because to get the rhythm, he needs to start. He needs to start consecutive matches, runs and matches, because in the Premier League, it's so physically demanding. You need to that Premier League match fitness. But I'll go to you, Tom. What do you think the score's going to be? Obviously, we know that Luke Shaw's going to keep that place. Do you think Diego Dalot's going to play, or do you think you'll bring Reguilon in?
He'll probably play a lot based upon what he saw with the Chelsea game, really, won't he? Even though I think Reguilon, to be fair to him, he's been sat there the last couple of games, and when he has come off the bench, he's made a bit of an impact. He has put the balls in the box. He has been a lot more direct from fullback than I think most of our fullbacks have done for most of the season, if I'm being completely honest with you. To be fair to him, I don't really think he's been given a chance, really. Even when we didn't have a natural left back to play and he was the only one, he still didn't trust him and give him the opportunities to actually play. So, listen, he might start him from the get-go. We don't know. But if he's going to play Shaw left-sided centre-back, then it makes sense to do so. But because the way I look at it anyway is when we're saying it with Bournemouth, where if they're going to go very direct and possession-based football, you're going to need to have a defensive-sided right-back. And for me, you're going to have to play Reguilon and just take the risk if you're going to play Shaw left-sided centre-back. So Reguilon's the only other left-back you have. And then you're going to have to play probably Wan-Bissaka for 70, upwards of maybe even 80 minutes, and then bring Delo in when you can. Hopefully when you're winning the game, maybe 2-3-0. But
what do you think the score's going to be, Tom?
I don't know. To be honest, it's difficult, really. I think we'll win, but I just think it'll be tight, really tight. Maybe like a 2-1 or 1-0. I don't think there'll be much in it, to be honest.
Yeah. Now, big up to everybody. Big up. Listen, I know that I put the thing up earlier, and a lot of people said they didn't see it. So YouTube is doing what he's doing to me. So it is what it is, people. We just got to content with it. Mundo, you're having some problems, I can see. Big up to you. Talk to me. What do you think tomorrow? We know that Varane's back. Lindelof is out. Rashford is ill. Luke Shaw is going to play centre-half with Maguire. Do you start regularly on with those against those fast wingers? Or do you play Diego Dalot left back? And what do you think the score's going to be?
I'm bringing Reguilon in at left back. I think Dalot played left back against Newcastle and he was absolutely dreadful. But he played better on the right against Chelsea. So I bring Reguilon on. I thought he did well against Chelsea when he came on. Him and Garnacho. So I would play him. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think we'll win 1-0.
Okay. Bumbaye, what do you reckon? Big up Seagull. Seagull says they're at home. At home, they're good, but away, they're trash. Palace had 16 shots on Wednesday. More possession, creating more chances versus them, but lost. Bournemouth are not good away from home. So it'll be interesting to see. Go ahead, Bumbaye.
So if who's fit to play alongside Harry Maguire? That's the first question.
Luke Shaw,
Johnny
Evans.
and Johnny
Evans.
Evans.
And Luke Shaw. Oh shit, Luke. Oh yeah, Johnny Evans.
Yeah, Evans is back. So out of those two, I go with
no.
Luke.
Let me stop you there. I'm telling you now. You heard it here first. If he starts with Evans and Maguire tomorrow, they're gonna get goals. They're too slow. Maguire and Evans are too slow. No way are they going to be able to live with the movements and the pace of Solanke, that Semenya guy. And
Depends on how he decides to approach the game, though.
No. Listen to me. Unless you play, let me mark my words for you guys, right? I'm going to predict it here right now. Unless he plays two midfielders in the pivot to protect them, they're going to get absolutely exposed right, left, and center. You heard it here first. Take it to the bank. Take it to the bank. I'm calling it right now. If we play Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans and we try to play halfway line football, pressing them up the pitch, we're going to get slaughtered. They're going to have loads of chances and they're going to open Manchester United up again and again. If he plays Manu and Amrabat, they might be able to protect them slightly.
Yeah.
But they're too slow to play the halfway line football. Go ahead, Mumbai.
Given the way that I'd like to approach this game, which is I want to be in a mid-block and aggressive and disrupt them. I don't want them to settle into a rhythm, which, involves a little element of risk. On that basis, I want to play Luke Shaw. I thought Luke Shaw and Maguire were very good against Newcastle for me. Very, very good, both of them. They were the two players that stood out for me that didn't deserve to be part of that shit show. So, and I play with Reguilon on the left or Dalot. I don't mind. I'm getting to be quite the fan of Diego Dalot. I really think we've got a really good player there who's only going to get better and better and better. He's a right back, that's his position, but he does a decent job sometimes. So I would go with I like Reguilon.
Bumbaye, I promise you, I'm going to invite you to a game. I'm going to take you to a game, and when you see him play in the flesh, you're going to change your mind. Seeing him on television, I don't know what you see in there. He is one of the most lackadaisical defenders I've seen, fullbacks I've seen in a long time. He is the one who keeps everybody on side. He never scans and checks where the rest of his three defenders are. He is horrendous, lackadaisical. Now, sometimes he's decent on a tackle. Sometimes he gets absolutely cooked right, left, and centre. But
everybody does.
He's not that. Listen, he's not that player that you're making him out to be. Against Chelsea, 3 times or twice, Jarvis, if I'm not mistaken, he kept them on side. Everybody stepped up. Maguire, Luke Shaw, everybody steps up. He keeps them on side 3 times. And I was screaming at him, going, "What the hell are you doing?"
Well, I mean, I think for me, when I'm speaking about Manchester United players this season, I could fire holes in absolutely every single player in that team. I could sit here now, ask me about any player, I'll put holes in his performances, no problem. I'll show you where they need to improve. Not because I'm clever, because it's obvious. And when the team doesn't perform, I can't look at the Newcastle game and say, "Oh, you know what? This guy didn't play well." The whole team was dead. The whole team was dead. And I told you on the last show, I can't have a good game. I played football tonight. I just got back here. We got popped. We were carrying one passenger, 7 aside. If he's not marking his man and he doesn't understand the concept of that, it means I've got to work twice as hard to solve the other 6 players. It's a team game, football. You can't have passengers and expect performances collectively not to suffer. So for me, this is a young guy, and he's improved a lot. I didn't used to like him.
Sorry, I'm not gonna lie. He's not that young, you know. He's 25 nearly. Not that young.
No, he's 23. We got him at 19. Jose bought him at 19. So he's 23, 24. That's young still, bro. And not only young, this is a lot of turbulence at Man United. You've got to realize that. My man has not been here that long. He's already, I think this is 3rd or 4th manager. So a lot of turbulence at Man United. It's not easy. But I think he's got a really good future there. I like him. But anyway, let's not get into that. I want to put Reguilon on the left because I really like his attacking prowess. He's got a lot of energy and he's nice on the ball. So, and I want to put Luke Shaw in.
Defensively suspect, by the way, Reguilon. Suspect is not the word.
Yeah. No, he is.
You know
He's not great.
He doesn't even pretend to defend. He doesn't even pretend to defend. He's
brother.
so forward minded.
We've not got Kyle Walker here. Do you know what I mean? We've got what we've got, but there are if he's not going to be if he's I think Kyle Walker's look. Let's not get into all this. It's not what you're asking me anyway. There are deficiencies in most players at Man United. We're trying to pick a squad here to go and win a game. For me, defensively, Dalot, Reguilon, yeah, they're not phenomenal. But who am I looking at that can really interplay, link up, dangerous going forward? Who am I putting at centre back if I want to play the way I play? I need a bit of pace. I like Johnny Evans. I think Evans is really good on the ball.
Yeah.
And he's not done badly when he's come in. You know, it was a laugh when we signed him, but players that we looked at and thought, oh, trash, whatever, they're proving their worth in moments, albeit, but we're getting points because Scott scores 2. Maguire, player of the month, he's been really good. He has been really good. He deserves it. So me, I put Reguilon on there because when we go forward, he is good. He's got good deliveries as well. And I put Luke Shaw. I need a little bit of cover, a little bit of pace there. And then the rest of the team picks itself. It's the same team. Anthony, Hoyland, Garnacho, Bruno, Amrabat, Scott McTominay play for me. That's the team, and I'm going with. I think we're going to win this game, 2-1 or 3-1.
Okay, that's quite confident. Okay, Jarvis, what was your score? And you're playing Johnny Evans tomorrow, Jarvis.
Yeah, just because I want to secure the flanks. But I think Johnny Evans is good.
Horrendous. Luke Shaw is horrendous at the flanks. His
Well, as
recovery
long as they don't have to be too offensive, if you can just go to the mid center and defend, then he's good. But yeah, you're right. His recovery speed is not as it used to be. He's not as quick as he used to be. So I get what you're saying, and I also prefer him as a left center back. But tomorrow's game, I want to play him at left back. But my score prediction, I said it yesterday, is 3-1 United. I really hope that we can win this game because we need to build momentum because we have Liverpool in a couple of games, and this will be the big test.
Okay, interesting. Listen, big up Omar Mela. Big up to everybody in the chat, by the way. We've got 140 of you in here, and we've not even got 100 likes. You're an absolute tight-fisted lot, you are. Honestly, smash a like. Free content, man. YouTube's trying to stop this. Free Palestine. Fuck Zionism. Well, we're there as well. Big up to everybody, man. A lot of the people, peace-loving human beings in the world, wherever we are. We stand with everybody who's been oppressed, man. Love and light, people. What was he say? Dalot has been on the women. Listen, yeah. Last season, Diego Dalot, after August last season, for about 6 months, I thought, since the World Cup, I thought he was brilliant. This season, absolutely shocking for me. It's been absolutely shocking. I think Wan-Bissaka gets back in tomorrow because they've got tricky. You know that Semenya? He's really good. He likes to go on the outside. So I think he comes back in tomorrow for me.
Yeah, and they create overloads on the sides, as we did against Chelsea. They will try the same. They will form a triangle on the flanks.
Yeah, so it's going to be very interesting, people. Very, very interesting. But we'll see tomorrow. Other talking points from today, and lots of stuff, lots of palaver about. Scott McTominay was saying, "Oh, we're playing a bit more now in terms of." Basically, like we're playing with a bit more or less in training, and then reports coming out saying Erik ten Hag has. Let me give you my score. So I think it could go two ways. If Manchester United score early, I think it might be 2-1, 3-1. But if we don't score early, I think it could be a tight 1-0, or it might be 1-1 or 2-1 to them. I'm just letting you know. That's how it is, people. My head is telling me, my heart is telling me that Manchester United win 2-1. My head is telling me they win 2-1. I'm telling you. Because I don't expect these players to be consistent. I don't. Some of you guys expect the players to be consistent. I don't. I've lost faith in these players. So I have to see it.
Do you know what it is, bro?
I have to see it. Now let me finish. I have to see it to believe it. Because of the Newcastle, the backlash they all got, they have to turn up on Wednesday. Now, getting yourself up emotionally, physically, for a Bournemouth, you think, they're shit away, this and that. Nah. I know that I've watched too much football to see it. I've watched too much football. So that's what I think the score's going to be. But just to say, I know there's only been 3 games, if I'm not mistaken, in the whole of November. But Manchester United have cleaned up, people. Manchester United have cleaned up all of the Premier League month awards. First of all, I'm like, oh my God, how bad are players have been when Maguire is picking up the player of the month. I understand the goal of the month was always going to be Garnacho. And Erik ten Hag for winning, how many games he's won? 3 games in November. No, he got beat one, actually. He won 2 games, but I think they count in October, maybe towards the end of October. So I understand why he could have won. But the fact that, to me, Maguire, now he's not been special at all. I thought he had a good game in the second half on Wednesday. I think, yes, as they become a bit more physical, yes, but he's mainly cut out the errors. But the idea that he's the best player in the Premier League for November, Jarvis, Please tell me the truth. Am I hating on him? Am I not being objective? Am I biased? Am I against him?
Yeah,
Yeah,
everything you just said, you are exactly all of those things. Well done. Keep it up, man.
well,
Uh,
we know Maguire. We know
Maguire.
his lowest level, and we've seen it for a couple of seasons. But then again, credits where credits due. So let's give it to him. He's played really good for the last, I would say, 10 games or something like that. So yeah, maybe he deserves it. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Bombay. Get the Maguire. I'm gonna mute myself because I don't want to jump in. So go ahead with the propaganda. Listen, Maguire. I know I know I know it's cold in Manchester. I know you're next to Bombay. We know you're there. So we like to say hello. We like to say hello to Maguire.
Harry catch, bang, crash, wallop. No, look, everybody knows Harry Maguire. I think sometimes in football, you build, unfortunately, a reputation that precedes you. Onana's doing a little bit of that nice and early for us. Very uncomfortable, jittery, scary. What the hell's going on? Am I comfortable? Maguire's been through hell. I don't. Not many players have been through the hell, and he's brought it on himself with his mistakes, with his awful performances, with his off-field. But that guy's been through the gauntlet for a good few years, and he was a guy that wasn't wanted. We wanted to sell him. Now we've got no choice but to play him. We've got a lot of injuries. The guy, for me, I'm not just saying it. No, I'm not a Harry Maguire fan, but I'm watching the games just like everybody else is watching the games. And I am surprised with what I'm seeing. Because other than you, Structure, I hate the fact that he dwells on the ball. I always call him Pirlo. Takes ages. He's looking around as if he's gonna do some Hollywood thing and fires a ball out of play. But at the moment, I'm seeing a guy who is leading a little bit. He's pressing high on his defender. He's got some good aggression. His positional sense in the box has been good. He's clearing everything with his head, which is what you expect of a guy with that size. So for me, honestly, and he's playing the ball quicker. He's not slowing the play down like he always does. He kills the pace of the game. Release it. Give the obvious, simple pass. It's not your job to come and unlock a defense. Just play that ball. So for me, he's much improved from the Maguire that I know. Am I telling you he's world class? God, no. But I have to say, well done. And he starts ahead of everybody for me now in terms of defenders. He's the first defender on there. Who's better than him? Varane, Evans, Lindelof? No. He's. They're not telling you he's the best player, but he's bloody turned it around, man. That's what I'd say.
Sorry, Mundo. There's a lot of things you said, but I'm not going to go into a screaming match with you. I think he's improved physicality. I think he's tried to play a bit more aggressive. I understand that, but he's not the best. He's not the best player in the Premier League. Not even close. Honestly, not even. And I think I agree with what's his name here. I don't agree with a lot of what Sonny95 says. Is that it's a PR stunt. The club bans journalists for not reporting what they approve. They're just doing United and Maguire PR. There you go. Go ahead, Mundo. Mundo, what do you reckon? Is Harry Beckenbauer back? Mundo will be back. Tom, be honest.
That's what Maguire does, boys. He makes you speechless. Is that bloody good? Mundo can't believe it.
Go ahead, Tom. Is Harry Beckenbauer back, Tom?
Who even coined that? Was it? I think it was Saeed, wasn't it?
It's Saeed was exactly the same moment I was telling Saeed that this guy's not a Manchester United player. He said, "You don't know what you're talking about. It's Harry Beckenbauer." He said he's going to help us win a league title. He said.
Listen. To be fair to Harry Maguire, there's two portions of his career at Manchester United where I think he's actually been good, and that's both times when he's never had the captaincy. First, when he came in for that first sort of 4 or 5 months before Ashley Young left in that January window, he was solid. That first couple of months under Ola, solid. And then they gave him the captaincy, the pressure and the expectations took over, and he couldn't lead the team. There was more players in the squad who had better leadership capabilities than he had. So it was almost as if he was being undermined. The errors started to come, the pressure was mounting, and you put Harry Maguire's face next to the legendary captains in our club, the Brian Robsons, the Roy Keanes. That's not where he should be, and he'll even admit that himself. He's not at that. He's nowhere near that level. And the thing that you can say with Harry Maguire is, I think what he's done is he's looked at his own game and he said, I can't play world-renowned football, and I won't probably be a part of this team, the future of this team, and the way that the manager will want to play in 3-4 years' time if he gets the chance and opportunity to do so. But I'm here and now, and I want to put in the best performance for myself, and I want to still show that, look, I can still play top-level football, even if it's not playing the brilliant football that a manager would want. But the one thing that I'll say with him, Nuruddin, anyway, is he didn't throw his toys out of the pram. He's kept it professional. He didn't blow up on social media when people were saying he's going to get axed out to West Ham and all this, that, the other. He didn't chuck his toys out of the pram like other players have done as soon as they don't play 1 or 2 games and the manager comes out and criticises him. Listen, Ten Hag's come out with the axes and daggers for Harry Maguire before. It happened in that Sevilla game. It's not good enough. And they completely criticised him in the same way with what happened with David De Gea. He criticised the goalkeeper. And with what he's got right now and the way that Harry Maguire has played right now in this instance, out of the players we have available, he has to play. He has to. Based off of how he has been playing at this moment in time, he deserves to play. But for the future, we need better. But for the right here and now, it's not. I don't think he's been really that bad, to be honest with you. But the only thing is, he does need to, like I say, improve the speed of his game, improve your distribution, get the ball up the field a lot quicker. But whether he can do that or not in the time that the manager might want to move him on to bring in somebody else, we don't know. But for me, he's putting himself in the shop window, and he's not thrown his toys out the pram. And to be fair to him, I'd respect him for that, based upon the amount of flack and criticism that he's taken. And listen, we can all sit here and say, we all hated on this guy for years. We have done. But for the here and now, he's done well. He has done. So, big up to Harry Maguire. But at the end of the day, in the long term, we do need better quality. But I wouldn't go as far as to do a stretch of what Saeed said about Harry Beckenbauer and all this bollocks.
No.
Because at the end of the day, one bad Euros, mate, and he'll be out of the Euro squad. So at the end of the day, he's got to play for something.
Yeah,
Mundo playing for his spot.
Yeah, big up Tom. Mundo, does Harry Maguire deserve to be the best player of the Premier League for November? Honestly, put your bias away. Has he deserved it? Has he been the best player for the past month? Best player in the Premier League?
He's definitely been Manchester United's best player. I'm not sure about the Premier League as a whole. Has he been the best player in the Premier League?
Yeah. I think, when you're considering player of the month, I think with Harry Maguire, it's maybe not the best player in the Premier League, but certainly one of the most improved players.
Well, he's got the trophies. So Manchester United have won a triple award. Eric Ten Hag, manager of the month. Garnacho, obviously the goal of the month. Harry Maguire, the player of the month, Premier League player of the month.
No, he's in fairness to him, he has played well, but
has he played amazing, Mundo, or has he just cut out the mistakes and got a bit more aggressive?
Yeah, I think it's that, and I think if moving forward, if United want to play more aggressive football, then I'm worried about him.
Yeah, I think 100%. I agree. Just the same, Mundo. I definitely agree with Tom when he says that, and Bumbaye and Jarvis, that he's come back from a really bad place, confident-wise. So for that, you give it up for him. He did, to be fair, pre-season, he was in Portugal and he trained in a training camp before pre-season with Carvalho. Remember Carvalho?
Yeah.
Remember Carvalho, the Portuguese. Yeah. He went to a training camp in Portugal that Carvalho runs for defenders.
Loads of them went, didn't they? There were Rice, Rashford went as well, didn't they? There were a couple of them.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mundo. I give him credit for coming back from the low and what
He's not the future of Man United though.
No, he's not.
No, he's played in games where we've conceded 3 or 4 goals. So I'm not going to get carried away because we've been leaking goals, and if he plays at Anfield, then we get smashed. And I know it's not just about one player, but I just think let's not get carried away about Harry Maguire. He's done okay, but he's not the future. He's 30 years old. He hasn't got the right attributes in terms of a team that's on the front foot. So he's done well. He did well against Chelsea. I give it to him. He stepped out of the defence quite well. He got in front of players. He won the ball. But this is the thing. Manchester United, setting aside the Chelsea performance, we have been playing like Hull City and Sheffield United.
Mundo, forget that. Honestly, even teams in the Championship play better than us.
So in that sense, does that make Harry Maguire look better? Because we're playing like a mid-table team, so he's defending in a team that's playing like a mid-table team. Because a lot of the credit he's getting is for obviously setting aside the Chelsea game. It's like getting blocks in the box and stuff like that. But the thing that annoys me about him and Lindelof is the way that they retreat into the box.
Facts, Mundo, facts.
I hate it.
This is the part he has improved.
First half against Chelsea, Jarvis, 3 or 4 occasions, I'm in the stadium, I'm watching it in front of me, and I'm like, why are you running? Come to the ball. Come to the ball. You've got a bit more physicality. He looks a bit leaner. By the way, big up Madhouse. Madhouse, is that a real photo of Harry Maguire, or is that an edited one? Because that's the maddest Harry Maguire photo I've ever seen in my life. Harry Maguire there looks like, the Addams family, the dad. He looks a bit like the dad. But go ahead, Mundo, go ahead. To me, I'm always like, Luke Shaw does it. I call those defenders shitbags. That's why I love Lisandro Martinez, because he doesn't run
I'm going to say Martinez is aggressive. He's out. You know what I mean? Like, Lindelof's the worst for it. Lindelof is by far the worst for it. But I want my defenders to be aggressive. I want you to engage. And he did that well against Chelsea, in fairness to him. But in a lot of the games I've watched, that's been, for me, one of the big concerns. The way that himself and Lindelof tend to just drop off on but they're almost on top of Onana. What's the point of having a sweeper keeper when your defenders are that deep? And that's part of the problem with the system as well, because is that when they drop that far into the box, because their 2-8s are so far up the pitch, the 6 has got no chance. Whoever's playing in that role has got 0 chance, because they've got so much of the pitch to cover. The defense is too far away from the midfield, because those guys keep running back into the box. So that's the only thing I'll say about that's the one thing I've noticed about Maguire. But other than that, from where he was to where he is now, it's been a massive, massive improvement.
Yeah. Big up. How old was Beckenbauer when he won the World Cup for Germany, Dortmundo? Yeah, Beckenbauer was young, man. He was young.
Quite young, yeah.
Yeah, he was a sweeper, man. He was an amazing player. 1974, if I'm not mistaken, yeah.
Wasn't it Libro, his role?
Yeah, he was a sweeper.
Libro.
Yeah, it was his sweeper. Is that what you mean, sweeper? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he scored some goals in it. He could take it out. The only player who could play well as him on that role is Ruud Gullit, but Ruud Gullit could play anywhere. Ruud Gullit could play right back, left back, centre back, sweeper, centre midfield, striker, right winger, left winger. To me, Ruud Gullit is the most versatile complete footballer ever. That's just me personally, but it is what it is. Madhouse, big up Madhouse. Listen, I'm telling you, you're even so tight. You're super tight. So, guys, apparently, Mr. Blanc, who was a CEO at Juventus, he was a CEO at, if I'm not mistaken, was he a CEO at Nice?
Is this Laurent
Apparently
Blanc?
was spotted at... No.
No,
He's a CEO. This is a guy called Blanc, who's a CEO, and apparently,
Jean-Claude Blanc.
yeah, he was spotted outside Old Trafford. Do you genuinely believe, guys, that 25% BS is going to do anything?
It was with Sir Dave Brailsford as well, in this bad context as well.
I think Jim Ratcliffe didn't give us what we all wanted, and now we label him as a 5th or 6th, 7th glaze or whatever. Let's give Jim Ratcliffe a chance, and let's put him through the acid test.
No chance. No chance.
And I say that, and I say that on the
Never.
basis that we have no other choice. So if Jim comes in, I discussed this last time we spoke about Jim Ratcliffe. In the reality of the world that we live in, what we want, we're not going to get. We want a new ownership. We would have liked to have Sheikh Jassim buy it outright. Now you have to deal with the problem in front of you. Forget the idealistic thinking that we all want. We're not having that. We have a guy that's come in and paid what they wanted for 25%. If he's looking at a director of football that has a good track record, instead of a John Murtaugh, for example, and a Darren Fletcher, great. That's a really good step in the right direction, because we need that communication of somebody that can be a conduit between what the team needs. He knows football. He can identify good players and help Ten Hag and relay this back to the donkeys at the top. Great start. That's because this is something that you can actually implement, something that we've been crying out for, a real one. We've criticized all the ones that we've had. Ed Woodward was doing it before. John Murtaugh came in, everybody killed him. He's only managed the under-21s and Fletcher. Well, this guy has done a really good job at Nice. He signed some good players and he found some good ones at Juventus too. So he's got experience in a big club, and he's got experience with a club that wants to build something. And he obviously knows him because Nice is his club. So if he's willing to bring him in, I'm all for it, I'd say. That's just me using logical sense for the best interest of Manchester United.
Yeah, all right. Big up. You're willing to give him a chance. No chance from me. Go ahead, Bumbaye. Sorry, not Bumbaye. Mundo. Go ahead, Mundo.
I have some concerns about some of the stuff I've been reading about Ratcliffe's plans.
Ineos and Sport. Ineos. If you need Bumbaye, have a little read. You know what they call it? They call it the Ineos curse. I swear to God, that's what some people call it, the Ineos curse. So just look up Ineos and their involvement in sport. Go ahead, Mundo.
And the other thing is this nonsense about, we're going to concentrate on getting British players. That for me is just some nonsense, because the last time we did that, we ended up.
FC. There we go.
Well, we bought Maguire for 80 mil on Maguire, 50 mil on Wan-Bissaka, and we had Dan James on the right wing. So I don't like that at all. And also, Nice have a couple of players that we could, like Thuram and Todibo. I would take them in a heartbeat. Catherine Thuram and Todibo from Nice. So I was kind of, because apparently they want to have the multi-club model where you've got clubs in various leagues around the world, similar to what City do with Girona and other teams. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad idea if they're going to have a global, scouting network, and players can get similar to the Red Bull setup, where you get the type of Benjamin Sesko type players. They go and play for Nice, and then they go up to Man United. If that's what they do, then I'm all for that, absolutely. But 25%, and for me, the Glazers, Joe Glazer is still part of that process. So as long as he's involved, I don't trust anything. Because we saw it with Arsenal with what was his name, Usmanov, and the guy that's Kroenke.
Kroenke,
yeah. Usmanov and
11 years to buy him up, you know that. 27% Usmanov had. 11 years to buy him up.
And look how long it took Wenger. Look at Wenger coming out with bullshit every summer when they were spending no money, talking about the stadium, because of that boardroom split, and them not willing to spend money. And it's only when Kroenke got full control that Arsenal then started to invest money. Got directors of football in, or Miss Lintat and whatever, didn't necessarily work out. Yeah, and Edu, but Edu's still there, and he's obviously things are working out fine at the moment with Arsenal. Their structure and everything else. So that's my concern. That there's just too many chefs. So
Mm.
I'm not convinced. I'm just as long as Joe Glazer is involved, as long as he's if they had said the Glazers are 100% on the commercial side and Jim's got full control, but as soon as he started mentioning this transfer committee involving Joe Glazer, that's when I knew we're being sold off here, boys, because
Yeah, facts.
that is not going to work for me. I'm sorry. There's too many
100%.
chefs.
It's a vanity fair from Jim Ratcliffe for me. You can bring Claude Blanc, B Blanc, C Blanc, Jeffrey, whatever you want. You ain't doing jack with 25% when the biggest shareholder is still Joe Glazer. Jarvis,
Sure.
go ahead.
Oh, I thought this transfer saga to death. It's too much for me in a way. But I don't know what to say anymore. If Ratcliffe comes in, we don't know. 25% this year, maybe we'll buy another 25% next year, and has a long-term plan to buy the Glazers out. So in a way, we don't know all the details yet. So it's hard to have a firm opinion if it's good or bad. In my speculation is that I think the Glazers dilly-dally too much. I think they wanted Qatar to come in, but the Qatar didn't want to give them the monster bid, and they tried to drag it out as much as then the Qataris just say thank you, come again, we don't want to do this anymore. And then they're stuck with Jim Ratcliffe, and now they're trying to stall it. It takes time. It's been going on since the summer. But this is their option. They need to get this done because they need money before 2025, because it's been about the banks want their money back, so they need to pay down a huge amount of their debt. So for me, let's see what will happen. But Jim Ratcliffe is the richest man in UK, and he's not isn't he? Isn't that
Yeah,
right?
no, it is right, but you don't live here.
He lives in Monaco.
Yeah. All
Tax
the rich
haven.
people, tax haven. But that's just the way the world works.
Yeah.
But he comes in. He has a lot of money, and actually, we don't need money. We just need to spend what we make
Earn.
as a club.
Yeah.
And
Instead of
people got to
paying down
realize that.
interest rate, Jarvis, put the context. Instead of paying down interest, we need to
Mhm.
spend what we've got. And then,
Yeah.
by the way, no financial fair play will judge us because our revenue is too much. So all this FFP and all that bullshit will nowhere near if you weren't paying for the debt.
Yeah, the thing is, our revenue is 650 million this year, and it will probably increase up to 1 billion in a couple of years. So this is the thing: we can spend money as much as we like. We don't need a rich owner giving us money, but we need to get rid of the debt, and we need to get rid of the Glazers. That's the main part.
We need investment though, a new training ground and a new stadium. We do need that money investment.
Yeah.
We need that.
Yeah. But
if you want to get rid of the debt, if let's say we clear the debt, we didn't owe the debt, we then could pay for the stadium for the next 24, 30 years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could pay down that, but we're not going to do it. So it is what it is, people.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jarvis. Sorry.
Yeah. I have had my say. So I will say my judgment when I know more details, because at the moment it's very hard. I can go on the train saying Ratcliffe is the next Glazer and everything, but we don't know that.
For me, he is. I'm sorry, but
we don't know that, Nuruddin.
No, he is though. But he is, Jarvis. 25% is a vanity fucking thing. If you want to buy the football club, buy their shares. Don't buy it all, but just buy their 69. If you haven't got the fucking money for the 69, get the fuck out of the football club. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but maybe they don't want to sell.
This is my line. So then what are you doing then? Get out, and you're just giving them an investment. That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
What's the difference between you and the Elliott group? No difference.
Yeah, but the thing is, we don't know. We don't know the details. Maybe they have a plan. Maybe they will buy it out.
I don't need Jarvis. I don't need to. I promise you right now, if there was a plan to buy the club for the next year and a half, 69% of the Glazers, they would have already leaked that. They would have fucking leaked that already.
Yeah.
So the fans would have got more giddy. They haven't. Exactly.
I don't think
Go ahead,
they
Tom.
would have leaked that, bro. I think
No, they
for
would
me,
have.
when he
They
acquired
would have leaked it.
25%,
They
as a
leaking
fan, I
everything
want to
else.
see what he's going to actually be able to bring, because there are practical things that he can do, which we have been begging for a while, that can set us in a better direction. The
Nah.
director of football is one. And I think the statement Jarvis posted, I actually like that. He was asked about Jadon Sancho, and he responded to that in a way that suggests, listen, the manager is the absolute power here, and there are standards that have to be met. There are good things. I like Jarvis, yeah. I'm not, over the moon about a 25% takeover. But when we discussed this, I said, look, at 25%, Jim Ratcliffe will win this race because he is paying at 25% for 1.8 billion, a little bit even over the odds than what the Glazers wanted. And Sheikh Jassim stopped 400 million short. He said, no, I'm not going to be held to ransom. Forget it. Is this 25%? It could be. Jim's coming in. Right, Jim, you administer the football club because you want to buy it outright in the next 3 years, whatever. So we have to look at Jim Ratcliffe now and say, okay, Jim, are you another Glazer? He might be. Or are you going to get some room to spread your wings and do things in a different way? Because this is your investment at the end of the day. It's a lot of money and you've paid them exactly what they want. They're happy. So I want to give this guy the opportunity to either hang himself or start to do the kind of things that start to improve this club. I'm not bothered before the leaks, the stadium, the women's stadium. I want to see us spending what we do have better, not squandering the money. You look at 400 million and you ask yourself, wow, where is the added value in this team? I look at Liverpool spend and you think, my God, what a team you've produced. Brighton, what a team you've produced. Villa, what a team you're producing. I want to be like that. I want to spend money and think, wow, this is good investments. At the moment, you look at every player we've bought under all the managers, it's not good value for money. We spent so much and have nothing to show for it. And after 400 million here, and this is not a criticism of Eric Ten Hag, this is just the customary Manchester United transfer market. Big money invested. You look at the team and you're asking yourself, when we put a starting 11 out, where's the 400 million? I'm not seeing it. It's a lot of money. So if we can start to turn that around, help the manager, maybe the manager doesn't know a good player when he sees one.
Listen, at the end of the day, time will tell. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Listen, go ahead, Tom. Go ahead, Tom. Tom, I have zero faith. Zero faith. Unless you say to me the next 6 months, by the end of beginning next season, the Glazer are out, then you get my attention. But unless that comes with it, unless you say to me at the end of the season, the Glazer are out, then you might get my attention. I'm not here for 3 years and shit like that plan bullshit. I'm not. I saw that same shit happen with Arsenal, and it took Kroenke 11 years to pay out Usmanov to get him off to get him off the board. So go ahead.
Yeah, I think look at the end of the day with the Ratcliffe thing is we don't actually know what he is going to do. We're hearing that he's going to come in and he's going to get the sporting control and everything. Let's hypothetically he gets the 25% and all the other shit. Let's just assume this transfer committee happens and all of it falls into place. I want to know what the guy's actually going to do. And the only way that I want to know what he's going to do is from his own mouth. He needs to get on a plane from Monaco to Manchester and speak to Manchester United fans openly, whether it's the Manchester Supporters Trust, whether it's just fan channels, whoever. We need to have an open dialogue with this guy. That's the one thing that if he's coming in with 25% and we know fuck all what he's going to do, be open with us and say what your plan is for this football club. Because the Glazer family have never had the bollocks to come over on a jet that they've paid for themselves and come to Manchester and say, this is our plan for Manchester United. They've never had the bollocks to do it. Even in the whole year that this has been going on, you've had no dialogue, no communication, nothing. It's just been leaks, drip fill. That's all it's been. So if Sir Jim comes in, I want to know what I'll hear the guy out in terms of if he's prepared to do it and say, right, like you're saying, Nuruddin, in 12 months, I'll buy them out. in 3 years I'll buy them out. I won't agree with the 3 years. Absolutely not. Because they need to go here and now for us to have a fresh start. I want us to be able to put questions towards him, and he have to open and honestly dialogue it. And like I said before to you, Jarvis, when we've done shows about it, talking about it, I would seriously put him in a box room with an interviewer, non-impartial, not a sports journalist, just a financial journalist, whatever, interviewer, and say, Sir Jim, we've got a couple of questions here from Manchester United fans. Can you answer them? What's going to happen with the debt of the football club? When will you eventually buy the whole football club out? Do you have a plan in place for that? Do you have agreements in place? And 3, the overall structure of the football club, what's going to happen there? Who's coming in? Who's going out? Oh, the stadium, the women's team. Give us your manifesto and let Manchester United fans hear you out. But until I can hear what the guy has to say, if he's not going to say anything, Nuruddin, completely agree. He's just as bad as the Glazers. But the way that he can get Manchester United fans on side, and he might not get you on side, Nuruddin, but if he come out in an interview and says, in 12 months, I'll get rid of them, he'll buy a lot of people back. It might take him quite some time to do it, but he can do it. But I agree on everything that we just agreed on, all 5 of us, and even the chat, where we said, we don't necessarily need a sugar daddy to come into our football club and put billions in. We don't need it. All we need is somebody who's going to come in. If they don't pay off the debt, manage it so it's gone in 3 years. Proper financial experts, and this is how piss poor Richard Arnold and Ed Woodward have done at their job, because these guys went to Bristol University and studied economics and finance, and they can't get rid of a debt of £500 million at that time, and it's only increasing further. And they can't get rid of it, but they're financial experts. They can't manage a debt. It's shocking. With the revenues that we make, £600 million, and they can't manage it. It's absolutely unbelievable. But if he comes in and he says, listen, this is Jean-Claude Blanc's going to solve all the problems as the CEO. Listen, Jean-Claude Blanc's building a new stadium for Juventus. He got over £2 billion worth, €2 billion worth of financing to go and build Juventus a new stadium. The guy knows what he's doing, financially speaking. But the thing is, if we're going to bring these people in, I want to know what the plan is behind bringing these people in. That's the thing. But I'm not getting behind anything, the here and now, until I know what you're actually going to do. Because you're coming in with 25% goes completely against what I believe in and what I want as a Manchester United fan. Prove me wrong. Get me back on side then. Because at the end of the day, you're in control and the charge of our football club's future. I want to know what you're going to do. And if you don't get on a plane from Monaco to Manchester, you're just as bad as the other lot across the pond over in Florida. You might as well go and join them over there, Sir Jim. You might as well.
I want to add 2 things.
If you don't get over on a plane to Manchester and tell us what's going on with our football club, you're no different to them guys over there.
Just to go,
it's simple for me. We will know. We'll do a proper show, Bombay. We don't want to get into it. You had
a quick question for the panel and for the guys in the chat. You invest 1.8 billion. It's a lot of money. You've actually paid a little bit over.
Vanity.
Okay, let me just put it to you this way. I wouldn't believe anybody, let alone a businessman operating at that level, is gonna part with 1.8 billion pounds to share in the annual private revenues of 70 million per year. And I also take into account the fact that he has to be able to maneuver in order to grow his investment and build its value as an asset. He's also a guy that's coming to the end of his life. He's not getting any younger. He's an old man. He's in his 70s, I think, maybe older.
71.
71. So at 71, there is a part of me that thinks, is this, his last blast? Nobody's going to live forever. Does he want to come around and maybe change the fortunes? This will be his legacy. So when I say to you 3 years, I don't mind 3 years. Why? I need to see what are we doing differently, because there are things that this person can be given the reins to start to implement those things and improve us off the pitch. There is a culture that exists in there that perhaps he might be the power now. He might be the face that says to the players, listen, now he's the godfather. It's not like before. If he says you're going, you're going. Manager backing is a problem we've had with all the other managers. So that's a logical question. Why would I invest 1.8 billion if I'm just going to be here to share in that 70 million as a fifth guy? It makes absolutely no financial sense.
We need a manifesto, guys. We need a manifesto.
And with regards to the manifesto, I don't think Jim Ratcliffe, obviously this is a feeling out process. We're at the very beginnings. So we're not sure how much influence he's going to be allowed to wield, because at the end of the day, he can say to look, I've given you a lot of money here. And if you're happy to just be dormant and, keep ticking along, I want to make some real changes. You have to allow me to get a return on my investment. That's normal. So what I don't want to happen with this is I come out and I make promises publicly, things don't quite work out. And even before we are trying to hit those goals, things don't go quite well. And now we've got a really bad blood, bad relationship, toxic. Just don't say anything for me.
No.
Don't say. I don't want him to say, bro. I don't want him to put. Honestly, I don't want him to put himself out there. What I want him to do is work. And if he's working, I will see what he's doing, and if we're improving in the transfer market, in the way the club is being run.
You're just going to go in there blind with him. But you're not bothered about if he says something.
No. I don't want him to.
And he doesn't do anything.
I don't think he has to. It's clear to see that the Glazers have been a disaster, and they don't make any statements.
Hold on. He doesn't have to come in and say anything.
No, not for me. What I want, it's going to be
clear. So he's gone
from
69% buying. So coming in the process, you say, I want to buy 69%, now to 25%, and you don't want an explanation as to why.
No, I don't need that. If he's there as a fifth Glazer, we're going to see it. Nothing's going to change. It's just going to be business as usual. Terrible transfer market, yo-yo club. If he's working, you will be able to see the tangible differences in the way Manchester United are operating.
Yeah, but the best way you can prove that you're here for the better and here for change, get on a plane to Monaco. That's the start. Get on a plane from Monaco to Manchester and be open with Manchester United fans for the first time in about 18 years. But that's the one thing that if he's not going to do that, and he's not prepared to do that,
let me finish with a simple analogy, and then I'm just going to show up. When you meet a girl for the first time and she meets you, I'm really nice, I'm patient, I love kids, I love cats, I give charity, dig. You tell her everything that you want her to hear. She tells you the same shit. Then you're under one roof, the door closes, now the real shit starts to happen. I don't need him to say anything. Show me. Go and get a director of football. Start to make us better in the transfer market. Back the manager. If he's your guy, back the manager, back his vision. Let his power be absolute and let the players know that. Let him bench whoever he wants. Let him sell whoever he wants. Let's not have these people that think they have to play. Let's get a better wage structure in. Let's not give shit players contracts for 4 and 5 years. If I start to see that sort of thing, then I will think, you know what?
I've got one final question for you, Bumbaye. One final question, and it's a simple answer.
Yeah.
Do you trust him? One word answer. Do you trust him? Yes or no?
Do you have to earn trust?
No. Do you trust him?
No, bro.
You're prepared to go into this in the dark. Look,
we're adults here. Do you just give somebody your respect and trust, or do they have to earn it?
That's what you're doing, basically. You don't even want to know what the guy's doing.
Bro, I'm giving him the opportunity to work. If he makes a believer out of me, great. If he does nothing, then we know we've got a fifth Glazer. But I'm going to give him the chance to show me or hang himself. That's all I'm saying. Because he has a lot invested in this and he has a lot to lose. Or he's got a lot to gain at a man his age who can come in and maybe he realizes I'm not going to live forever. Let me get this club. I'm from Manchester. You don't know what's going through.
Listen, it's a vanity thing to say I've owned part of Man United. I can get to my grave now. unless he's taking over the next 6 months, he's just doing that first part of it and doing it through the, New York Stock Exchange and stuff like that. He's doing that bit. And next 6 months, he's going to buy the rest of the shares. Then see you later for me personally.
Would I like to have Jim Ratcliffe as part of this ensemble, or would I like to have just kept it for another year, 2, 3 years, exactly the way it is? No, bring somebody new. Let him take a quarter of the club and let him have the opportunity to make good on his investment and make changes so that that investment can mature either as an asset, as its value. I'm happy with. I'll take that. I didn't get what I wanted, but what we've got here is at least something that hopefully can disrupt what we've had for the last 20 friggin' years. I'll take that. It's up to him now. That's it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But
It's going to be interesting.
Listen, for me, I totally stand on the principle and the value. Every Glazer, not 1 cent of a percent of Glazer in anywhere near the football club. For
100%. Get those fuckers out.
And for me, once you give the Glazers money to stay, you are a rat, the biggest rat, and you need to be. You're worse than the Glazers. For me personally. So for me,
the agreements that you don't
everybody's
know.
different. Everybody's different. I respect everybody's opinion. Mine's not greater an opinion than anybody else or less than anybody else's. But I stand on that principle.
We'll do a show at some point anyway.
No negotiations, no way. Unless the next 6 months, by the end of the season, see you later, Glazers. Then I'll be like, okay, fair enough. At least he bought the 69. And then I'll judge him accordingly. But big up to everybody, man. Love and light. Big up Khalees Lamadine Lassie joining us late. Big up to all of you. We've done 1 hour 30. I just want to quickly go through some of the things that I thought were. Big up for the super chat. Appreciate you, DJ. Thank you. Solanke and Sanama are the 2 dangerous guys for Bournemouth, 100%. We'll get smacked at Anfield and fans will say Maguire shit again. Yes. KB knows he followed this club. He knows
we're a one-man army now, man. Maguire, and that's it.
He said, by the way, Nurin, you see this man ain't playing Varane. Watch him bring Varane back at Anfield, knowing that we're getting pumped personally. If I'm Varane, Liverpool game, I'm having a tight tummy. Tight hammy, not tummy, tight hammy. There you go, big up. That's going to be interesting. And Java says here, to want to close on, Eric tonight was asked tonight, this embargo section, if I'm not mistaken. He's asked about Sancho. He said, this is a softer, actually. This is the most soft he's been. He said, Eric tonight said, when asked about Sancho returning in the squad, he said, it's up to him. It's about the culture and that every player has to match to certain standards. And that's what it's about. So actually, I genuinely think he's toned down his rhetoric. Quickly, Jarvis, do you get the sense of that in this?
Yeah,
much into it.
I think Ten Hag and Sancho they want difference again.
They're not backing down.
Okay.
No, it's not backing down. But I think Ten Hag it's important for him to send a message to the other players that okay, if you come in a conflict with me, it can be resolved. But you have to know where I stand, and I am the man in charge.
Cool. Right. We'll discuss it next time, people. But we need to go now. It's been a pleasure. So let me just get to this. Make sure you follow at TomJournalist1 on Twitter. Go and check him out there. Jarvis Bowley77. You can catch him doing weekly shows at MUFC Realist TV. Make sure you check out big up Mickey out there in a lovely Thailand in the sunshine, cheeky bass. Has he even invited you, Jarvis? Has he said come?
Yeah, he has invited me many of times. So if I have the opportunity, I will go to Thailand. Yeah.
Has he got a nice little villa? Has he sent you some photos?
He has a nice place, nice apartment with a huge space and his own pool and everything. So he's living the life.
He's living the fucking life.
Big up to Meg, man. Enjoy.
Big up Mickey. Listen, Mickey, I'll see if the cheap flights in it, if I can find cheap flights, mate. Over Crimbo. Over Crimbo there.
Let's crash the place.
It'll be Jarvis running both channels then, I promise you. Jarvis, can you do it on Christmas? Jarvis will come back from work. His clothes, his bags packed outside the door. Ta-da! I'm telling you, Jarvis will be kicked out, mate. Jarvis on the street, -20 on the street. Man, USA Realist TV and and Therapy Army on one pad each. You know what I mean? Walking
Make-
around the snow.
Make sure you frisk for a dick.
Hey, what you doing? You need to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Stop doing that. Honestly, you've lost a plot. You have. That's actually gonna silence you there. We don't want to even hear you laugh.
Oh.
Listen, hold tight, everybody. Big Mickey. So yeah, Mundo, he'll start tweeting when we get there. Bumbaye, that's why he's not on social media, because he comes out with stuff like that. So that's why he's not on social media. And maybe next show I'll show you.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Listen, I'll show you maybe the next show what's happened to his Facebook. Who took over his Facebook?
Apparently, guys, I'm advertising weight loss pills for women that went from 100 kilos to 50 kilos in a month, and the latest women's fashion. So I'm your guy.
Wow.
I got hacked up, man. One guy from Indonesia and some dude from Southend did me dirty, bro.
Listen, we want to finish on a good note. We want to first say rest in peace to one of my heroes. They say never meet your heroes, and I met this man twice. So Benjamin Satanaya, big up to you. Rest in power, and thank you for that being an inspiration. Never selling out to the establishment, always staying on your politics, being what it is. So big up to Seth Benjamin and our condolences go to his family and loved ones and friends at this difficult time. Big up to him. And then we're always saying it. We stand against the genocide. We'll be there tomorrow again. Bumbaye, make sure you're on time. We'll be there for the protest again tomorrow. People.
Make sure you're on bloody time.
Listen, we're there protest tomorrow in Manchester, doing what we do. The least that we can do, people, is let the people in Gaza know that we care. We see the genocide, that ongoing genocide committed against them, and our hearts and everything goes out to them. And we're with them always. We're with them. So that's the least we can do, because I've got friends over there, and they say when they see protests from here, and their heart gets a bit filled, their day is a bit joyful when they see so many people globally who care about the Palestinian cause. So Palestine, free Palestine, fuck Zionism, fuck anybody who's supporting genocide, fuck the Glazers, fuck the bankers, fuck Jim Ratcliffe.
This is my favorite part of the whole show every week. Just keep going, Dino. Keep going.
Fuck Jim Ratcliffe, fuck anybody who's backing blank this, blank that. I don't give two F's, mate. Glazers out, bankers out. Zionism is a racist doctrine.
Cancer, that's what it is.
Political ideology, and the sooner, the better we defeat Zionism, the better. And by the way, never mix the two. Zionism, there are Muslim Zionists, there are Christian Zionists, there are atheist Zionists. Never equate Zionism with Judaism. They're not anywhere near close. But people have hijacked the Judaism, and now they're doing what they're doing. They're slaughtering women, children, men, granddads. They're doing an absolute genocide while the world watches. And I've got a big message for Dubai, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, all the other belly dancers. You can suck on this one. Sit on this one. Cowards. Nothing but two big cowards.
Sellouts, man.
Two big cowards. We will never forget this. Nobody in the world should ever forget this. So peace, love, light, always, people. Love each other. We stand against fascism. We stand against dehumanization of anybody, anywhere across this world. Free Congo, free Sudan, free Yemen, from Saudi Arabia as well, the absolute muppets. So good night. We'll see you tomorrow for the match reaction. Peace. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you all. 100%. There you go. Big up, Jarvis. Leave a comment, non-live section right after the show ends. There you go. Yeah. Predict the score, people. Predict the score and see where we go. Big up, love and light. Peace. Free Palestine, man. Free Palestine, always. Free Palestine. Up the Irish while we're there as well. And big up to Celtic fans as well. The Brigade. Absolute